I can see that. She goes, what makes you want to report on time? And I went, actually, I go, yeah, no, it's like,
Oh, that's okay. So watching it, they're going to come into me. Reception.
I'm like, and you know what? She doesn't run it that way at all. She was not. So now, I'll be here at an hour. So I'm going to start treat dinner early and the other people that are always late and say, you know, it starts at this time. So
yes.
So a little early.
Yes. Good to get it.
And my parents like,
You're 10 minutes early, you're late.
they were very much early people.
We left for vacation that time
I think when you're brought up like that, you just automatically.
Yeah, it's just the way you slowly get your thing.
Getting there.
That's what we do a lot of things.
That's a yellow. Just like you're telling go to the right.
It'll be okay. It won't be scary, I
You can't make them like spread out and they see it. I think it happens when they spread out and like say you've seen that. Okay, so here's how loud it is. That way is and then okay, hold on.
We didn't mind at all.
Jesus got a lot of hair, hasn't he? Oh my goodness.
They're not too late.
Aren't they?
Some of them are too
Whose old-fashioned car out there?
said no money.
I got displaced by a whirlwind.
Your sister can get 2 years of what says no. Last thing I can do is how you do.
She'll be an 8th grader this year.
And they seen you guys sitting up here, and I thought, oh, they got a background. I know, just
I've been searching about what I have. I wouldn't go anyway.
Welcome everyone to Gettysburg High School graduation, and we can celebrate the class of 2026. We would like to have you all rise so we can recognize our class of 2026 graduates.
Now we will start off with our first speaker of the afternoon, Mr. Joseph Stanley.
Holy crap. A lot of people here. Well, I'm Joseph Stanley. Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2026. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out if giving me a microphone was a good idea, but here we are. I'm pretty sure I got volunteered for this speech before I even had the chance to say no. After years of homework, tests, group projects where one person did all the work, and asking, wait, when is that due? Every single day, we finally made it. We've made a lot of memories together, football games, prom, homecoming week, somehow involving mustard, and of course, Sage and Jace's legendary mullets. These are moments we'll never forget. On behalf of the class of 2026, thank you to our parents, teachers, friends, and the Gettysburg community for supporting us through everything. Teachers, sorry for our behavior, and parents, we're sorry for the gray hairs. But somehow, we survived high school, and I think that deserves a round of applause. Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you for all being here today. Now I would like to ask Faith to come up and follow with a prayer.
Dear God, thank you for guiding us through every step that led to this graduation. As we begin a new chapter, give us strength, wisdom, and courage to follow the path you planned for us. Help us to trust in you through every success and challenge ahead. If you would like to join us, we are now going to pray the Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you everyone for joining us today to honor the Gettysburg High School graduates of the class of 2026. My name is Corey Jensen, and it has been my honor and privilege to serve as their principal this year. I would like to introduce the speaker for today's ceremony, Ms. Kim Bartman. Kim brings over 40 years of experience across public and private sectors, spanning primary through higher education and work in 2 countries. An educator, director, and storyteller, she is the former chair of the Speech, Communication, and Theater Department at the University of Sioux Falls. Kim has directed more than 115 productions from South Dakota to New York City and is the founder of the Ephemeral Productions, a theater company dedicated to social change. Kim travels the state with her company, the Humanity Launch, building positive culture in schools, nonprofit, and the corporate sector through interactive retreats. She is the proud mother of 4 children, her granddaughter 12-year-old Ava Mary, and her partner in crime and love of her life. Please help us in welcoming Ms. Kim Bartman.
So delighted that you asked me, and I am so honored to be here. I have to brag a little bit though. I'm from a school in South Dakota so much larger than yours, so I don't want to rub that in, but I graduated with 31 people. I actually 45 years ago this weekend. So thank you so much for the invite. So I have a company called the Humanity Launch. And we've been lucky enough to work in Gettysburg with both the teachers and a couple times with your students. And when people say to me, what are you doing now? Are you still teaching? And I'm like, yeah, I am, but it's kind of like being a grandparent in education. I get to come in with the students and give you what I think is my wisest words. I kick your butt a little bit, maybe make you dance, and then I laugh with you, I love on you, and then I go home. We've also worked with our teachers, and with teachers we do interactive in-services. Everything we do is about 3.5 hours. They're all interactive, and with the teachers when we come in, our goal is 2 things. Number 1, to remind them how important they are. And also, why they went into teaching in the first place. Because if we can remember that, that's when we come up for the next day. Also, when people find out what we do, and I say we build positive culture in schools, that's what we do. Like, well, how do we do that? Well, we teach them how to talk to each other again. That's what we spend a lot of time doing. And then they always ask me too, so, because this is my party game, what schools in South Dakota have the best culture? And I mean this. I cite you guys. You are some of the best culture, and that's because of the people up here, the people here, your teachers, your family. There's something special about this town. And every time we leave, my business partner and I, when we go home, we all of a sudden we're back in Sioux Falls and we talk the whole time because we get so excited about what happened when we were here. Because that's positive culture. You made us feel welcome, and we watched you spend time with each other on a different level, and that excites us as teachers. You also know that every time I'm in front of you, I give you some vocabulary words. Now, I was an English teacher when I first started in Arlington, South Dakota. And so I'm always going to start with vocabulary words. And if I would come back every single day, your teachers got the same thing, I give the same vocabulary words because not only are they the cornerstone to our company, I believe they're 2 words that you really do need when you go out in the world. The first word is vulnerability. Vulnerability is not the wonky chair you sat in and whoop, fell down. It's not something broken that way. It's not a door hanging off a hinge. You're not things, right? With vulnerability in human beings, it's the exact opposite of that. Your vulnerability is your strength. And you've heard me say this again, but I'm so glad to be here to make sure when you walk out today, it is your superpower. And it will and can save you. What it means is that you're going to trust somebody or people as you go along in your life with things that you're passionate about, things that you're concerned about, things that you love, things that scare you, all of that. But you're going to open your mouths and you're going to share that with other human beings. That's vulnerability. And you're going to assume when you give it to them that they're going to take that and they're going to keep it safe within their own vault. And maybe it doesn't start with you. Maybe when you go off to wherever you're going to go, workforce or college or military, that maybe it's somebody who gave it to you and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? Oh yeah, that's right, Bartley told me that's vulnerability and I'm supposed to keep it and take care of it. I'm going to keep that safe. And then it goes back and forth, and those become relationships that matter. To do the vulnerability. Next word, you know what it is? Courage. It's my favorite word. The word courage literally means, it's from the Latin. C-O-U-R is Latin for heart, which makes sense. Sounds like cord. So Latin for heart, and when you add the A-G-E on the end of courage, you get song or story. So literally what the word courage means is heart song, heart story. And that's how you become vulnerable. You open up your heart and you share your story. You share your song as you go through life. That's true courage. Now, I would be amiss if I also did say a couple of other things that I said to you along the way. A reminder, you're not as important as you think you are. Right? You're not as important as you think you are. And I want to make sure you are clear when you go out. You are important. You matter. You are special. You're all those things. But don't think everyone's looking at you all the time. Don't get frozen because you're like, oh, so-and-so's a thing, but they're going to say this. So nobody's looking at you, kid. You do you. So when I tell you you're not as important as you think you are, I want that to be something, again, of strength and courage You get to make choices for yourself, right? Another thing, this time of year, in April, May, in our company, primarily what we do is we go into schools and we do what are called senior retreats, where we take the senior class for an entire day, usually off campus. And the first half of the day is, how do you leave in a healthy manner? What does gratitude look like? And then we practice it. We write letters. We say things of gratitude to one another. We also talk about the legacy of who do you need to make amends with before you head out? What does it look like? Who have you need to say, I'm sorry to, and just mean it? Not sorry, but just, I'm sorry. Sounds like maybe a teacher, so you should be talking to, yes? Those are incredibly important skills. Be able to say thank you, to be able to say, I'm sorry. But what we do in those senior retreats also is we ask them, when they first come in, something we did with you guys when you were here earlier, we asked 2 questions that they put on a note card. The first question is, what are you most concerned about next year? The next question is, what do we not, as adults, talk to you about that we should have before you walked out the door? So I'm going to give you what we get over and over and over again. First one, hands down. Oh, let's take this back. First one is taxes. For some reason, our children are very concerned about taxes. So you might want to have a conversation about your child, what taxes are and how to do that. So taxes comes up a lot, the finance comes up a lot. But really the number one is the question, how am I going to meet my people? For the past 12 years, your people have been given to you. And now you got to go out and find your own. How do you do that? The good news is you've been practicing it for a couple of years every time you come to town. And I know because your culture is positive, it's going out into your families. And that is, you need to be more interested, right, than you are interesting. Be curious with other people. Don't walk through the door and go, I'm here, and let you tell me all about myself. Instead, be the person that listens and asks questions, and then you ask follow-up questions based on what you've heard. Be interested. The interesting will come as they're vulnerable back and forth, right? That's how you find your people. The second one, and this is for the rest of you, when we ask them, what is it that adults should be talking to you about other than taxes? And it's overwhelmingly the same thing. Why don't our parents talk about what they wanted to do when they were our age? Why don't they tell us about their struggles? I don't know what my mom wanted to be when she was 18. And when did that switch? They want to know your heart stories. They want to know your heart stories. Grandpa and grandma's, aunt and uncles. They really do want to know. And the good news is they know how to be interested. So have those conversations. Have those conversations. Again, you have those tools in your toolbox. The last other thing I want to talk about before I go, they said 10 minutes, and it was like, okay, 4 hours driving for 10 minutes, here we go. So I'm going quick. But in the last couple of weeks, this is a new subject, but it's just an old pattern, I guess it would be for me. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call from a student from the University of Sioux Falls who came to USF to play basketball from Los Angeles. I get a lot of athletes in my classes. Seems odd because I'm a theater professor, but there they are. And I usually have a lot of great relationships. And this one particular student had a little bit of trouble once in a while. His name is Thomas Frames. We call him Snap. And Snap was coming, called me, said, Bartley, I'm coming back to Sioux Falls to visit some of my teammates. And it's been 15 years since I've been there. 13 years since I've been there. Can we spend some time? Absolutely. So we went out for lunch. And during that lunch, as we're catching up, by the way, if anybody cares, this is a kid who we left. He's been on the road around the world with Kendrick Lamar as part of his entourage, working in the business part of it for the past 6 years. He has been to every country you can imagine. And this kid was raised by a single mom in West Hollywood, a black kid in Los Angeles. And he's seen the world. And when we were eating lunch, I came back and I was talking to the waitress. And I sat down and he said, yeah, this is her. I love her. He goes, no, I love you. I said, I love you too. A couple days later, he's still in town, and my granddaughter, this is 2 weeks ago, tomorrow, and my granddaughter wants to go golfing. And whatever she wants to do, I do. She is my, I always say, some people call them grandchildren, I call her a partner in crime. She calls, want to go with the balls, let's go golfing. I said, yeah. I said, can we take my friend Steve? He's still in town and he's looking for something to do. Sure. So we go golfing. When we got back in the car to go, my granddaughter said to me, Grandma, do you think it's weird that he said to you 4 times? I counted it, Grandma. It was 4 times that he said, I love you. I said, did I say I love you back? She said, yeah, you did. And she said, not only that, once when you were swinging, he turned to me and says, you have no idea how much I love your grandma. And she said, I think about that a lot. She says, why is it all of your friends are so young? I said, what do you mean? She goes, you start every sentence with one of my former students. And one of my former students were going on vacation. One of my former students were having lunch. One of my former students is stopping by. She said, all of your friends are your students and they're young. And I think it's kind of weird. And they all say, I hear it all the time, you always tell them you love them and they love you. And I said, well, don't your teachers say that to you? She said, this year, no. I was in trouble, 6th grade this year. She said, but last year, yeah. And Principal Shields says it a lot to us. And Mr. Humke, that's our choir director, he says it all the time. This is he. So what I've been thinking about, not just that, the teachers in the room, for you, is it not amazing that we wake up every day and go someplace where we're loved? We're loved, and we tell each other. I heard it in the room before we came. I heard someone of you say, are you not going to say love back to me? I heard it. Somebody said it. Just now. You are loved. You're not just taught. You're not just encouraged or inspired. All of those things come from your teachers, for sure. Because we know this about your teachers. I told you this before. There's not a teacher, especially in South Dakota, who says, oh, gee, I hear the money's in teaching. Let's do that. We go into teaching, not even because I'm an English teacher, that I just spread Shakespeare to the world, or geometry, it's just what I'm good at. We go into teaching because we love kids. And we want to make a difference one kid at a time. How amazing that I have been allowed for the past 40 years to go somewhere where I am loved, and I'm able to give love and teach that throughout the education system. I was at the doctor twice last week. Nobody told me they love me there. I was at Hy-Vee. Not one person told me they love me. I've been to a lot of places this week. I have not been told I've loved anywhere. And I looked around, I've been thinking about this. I'm wondering, they're telling each other they love each other either. But in schools, we do. You have been loved to this point. And that's something that we should find gratitude in. Finally. Every student I've ever had in my lifetime gets Kim Bartley's 4 golden rules. Now, if you called my children and asked them what they were right now, they'd be mad if you called, but they can spout them out. Probably going to be on my gravestone. So here we go. Gettysburg class of 2026 is my students. Here are Kim Bartley's 4 golden rules. Number 1, be kind even when it's inconvenient. Be kind even when it's inconvenient. Sometimes, as we know, one sheep sometimes needs to be going after instead of together for. Sometimes, especially as things are going to go really quick here in the next couple months, and certainly this summer as you get ready to go to this job or move to National Guard or college, all these things are good. It's I got to spend all my time with my friends. I'm telling you, you have parents and you have grandparents and other family that want your time, and you may think it's inconvenient, but it's a kind thing to do. And I'll tell you something else throughout the whole world, whether it's Snap Frames or anybody else of my students that I love. Just when I think I'm in their path, it's them that they're in mine. Be kind even when it's inconvenient. Number 2, love on people the most when they act like they want, deserve, and need it the least. That might be your first roommate, or somebody who comes into your path that maybe it's even your best friend. Because a lot of times it's the people that are closest to us. Your teachers know this story, but when my dad got sick and was dying of cancer, he wanted to be my mom's boyfriend to the day he died. Now don't get excited, this was a plumber, pipe fitter, farmer. He was not warm and fuzzy. He didn't say it out loud, but I knew that's what he was going to do. And the reason I knew it because he was hardest on me. He was scared. And I got his fear in a way of being sometimes ugly. Again, I live close, I'm the oldest, and he trusted me the most. And so sometimes you have to look at that as an honor. Snap brains and every other student has always been a little tough and I got to go after. They're usually the richest of relationships once we move on. Love on people the most when they act like they want, deserve, and the least. And that's the other thing, because we give up on things way too fast and move on. Don't do that. Except if it is something that is physically or emotionally abusive to you, and then you need to know when you have faith. You need to know when you have faith. Third one, this one's easy. Make memories over the money. Make memories over the money. Go camping, take the trip, play cards on a Friday night. Have a long conversation. You must be playing cards or doing something on a Sunday night, I see it. Those are the memories, right? I took a 1967 camper, gutted it, put together with YouTube videos, all by myself, so that my granddaughter and I could hook it up and go look at state parks. Man, it didn't cost a lot of money, but the memories the two of us make are pretty special. Right? I really do believe, and I think maybe I said this before to you, you should come out of the womb with 3 things. 1, get your birth certificate, that's important. 2, I don't think you need a good therapist by the time you're 13. And then the third thing is, get yourself a passport. Go see the world. And maybe it's just within the United States, but you won't know how good you have it in your own house, your own area, your own neighborhood, your own family, until you go someplace else. And sometimes you don't know what to clean up in your own backyard until you've gone someplace else. Make memories of money and time. If you go through life with your mind open, continue to be curious, continue to learn. I want you, and that's not just in subjects, information, which is given to us so easily. Probably it has more to do with people. Don't decide who people are the minute they come in. Keep that mind open. Keep your heart open. You have to do that, otherwise you can't show your courage. That's where your heart song's coming from. You can't do that if you get somebody else's heart song to show you if your heart's closed. Keep the heart open, and you know what? It's going to get broken. That's okay. It just makes it stronger. Head open, mind open, heart open. Most important, go through life with your hands open. To one another, clasped in prayer, serving something bigger than you are. So important. And if you can do that, mind open, heart open, and your hands open, you will live the richest life you can possibly dream. Congratulations, Gettysburg, class of 2026. It's an honor to be part of your work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim, for sharing such a great message. Okay, before we have our salutatorian and valedictorians share their speeches with us, and I doubt there'll be tears, but just in case, we want to do a class photo of everybody. So I'm going to have all the seniors come up to the risers here, and if anybody would like to come forward, parents, friends, anybody come and take a class photo, we'll do that real quick now. So everybody just come up and all.
get over that.
Okay, I would now like to invite Miss Claire Cordell. She is the daughter of Todd and Elaine Amy Cordell and one of our salutatorians.
Well, class of 2026, we made it. Somehow, despite the deadlines, assignments, study sessions, and alarm clocks that we continuously ignored, we eventually did make it. For the last 13 years, we've been through a lot together. We grew as people, dreamed big, and developed countless memories together. Memories that I pray will stick with each and every one of you forever. We have spent a lifetime of moments and days together, so I would like to share some of my favorites of each of you. Jalen, I'll always remember the first day I met you in preschool. You ran up to me and gave me a big hug, and I remember turning to my mom and thinking, I want to go home, because a random girl had just run up and hugged me, and I was scared everyone was going to be that odd. I'm glad I didn't though, because no one else could have ever made me feel more welcome. Jaden, I can never forget you being the first person I became friends with in elementary school. We had some really good times then, and now too. Angie, I will always carry the memories of our summers spent at the pool together, where we talked more and ate laffy taffy and popsicles than actually swimming. Joe, thank you for always being a class clown who could actually make others laugh. And sorry for basically bullying you in middle school, specifically when I accidentally got you electrocuted in science class during a project together while plugging in the hot glue gun. We got an A though, so it's worth it, right? Trace, if there's anyone who could disturb my peace the most, it was you. From constantly making remarks about my height, something I can't control, mind you, to simply being a professional rage baiter, you knew exactly what to say to make me annoyed. I'll miss it only a little bit. But one of my favorite memories is when we were setting up for Harvest Carnival one year, and we went down to the basement in the auditorium to look for decorations. Instead, we found the old locker room. It felt like we had been transported to a scary movie. One that involved a fake seance and scary doll noises. Cameron, thank you for always dealing with our class's shenanigans, when I know you just wanted to peacefully read your book. Like when our group and Health and Wellness decided skipping for PSA on vaping would be perfect for our video. Colton, you might not be in the crowd, however I hope you know, even though you aren't technically part of our class anymore, you will forever be one of our classmates. Nothing could ever change that. Jace, I don't think anyone in our class made more comments than you that became inside jokes for the whole class. From you're being lying, and we can talk about this. You unintentionally became the comedic relief we needed on long days. Carter, your comments will be my favorite in journalism. I don't think I know anyone who can make as many outlandish comments as you make and do it with a straight face. Megan, I hope you will always remember that one time driving around together, when we stopped at a stop sign to change a song, and a car unknowingly came behind us, and we only glanced up once before quickly fleeing the scene. I don't think I'd ever be more embarrassed, but at least they didn't honk at us, right? Sage, I will forever remember on the senior trip when I stepped out of the bathroom and you screamed and hit your face in your hands in fear that you saw something you wouldn't want to. Luckily for both of us, I was fully clothed. I'll also remember you as the person who I share a birthday with, and that you argued on every birthday that you were born first. He isn't. Sean, I'll always remember throughout the better half of the year with Faith calling you her favorite Puerto Rican. He's actually Filipino. And I'll also remember all the funny moments throughout prom night, especially when Bobby believed that I truly left you at your house. Jared, I couldn't really think of a memory for you, and that might be related to the fact that you were asleep in school more than you were awake. Rowan, you are also someone who I couldn't believe the number of out-of-pocket comments that came out of your mouth, especially in Miss Slinger's classroom. If you can't remember, here's a hint. You're running out of time, or should I say you ran out of time. Peyton, I will always remember a third-hour study hall this year, and the senior trip with you. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. I'll miss all our funny comments and truly getting to know you this year. Emma, I'll miss the joy you bring to every room, and all the fun and spontaneous adventures we went on. I'll also always remember the senior trip with you, and going on the roller coaster way too many times. But if we had the chance, I would definitely go one more time. Faith, I will miss not being able to say our inside jokes, hamsters, our random adventures, the drives, the walks, and the random boys at State Fair. You made my senior year so much fun, and I can't believe we won't be together next year. And Bobby, there are 1,000,001 memories that I could say, but because that would take way too long, and you would hate me if I talked that much, I'll have to settle for general ones. I'll miss our daily inside jokes, trips to pier, and watching the rookie. I'll miss having someone who I can glance at and have them know exactly what I'm thinking. I'm simply going to miss you, Bobby. Every moment and memory will be what we truly remember from high school. Not the grades, the drama, or the stress of growing up, but the inside jokes, the laughs that made our stomachs hurt, and even the ordinary days were memorable, simply because we were together. Alan Alexander Milne said it perfectly. We didn't realize we were making memories. We were just having fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Great job. I would like to invite Jaden Allmeyer, our next salutatorian. She is the daughter of Scott and Trish Allmeyer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this milestone with us. Standing here as salutatorian, well, one of them, is an incredible honor. Our class is full of very hardworking, talented, and resilient individuals. While the main reason for us being here today is to celebrate making it through high school and all of our accomplishments, it's also a reminder that none of us did it alone. First, I want to thank all of our teachers throughout the years. You've done far more than just teach us lessons and read from a textbook. You've stayed after school to help us with assignments, encouraged us when we were doubtful, and pushed us to reach our full potential. Your impact is something that we will remember long after walking the stage. I remember in first grade, Mrs. Lucky gave us weekly spelling tests. At the time, I took great pride in the fact that I was the only one who got 100% on all of them. My classmates knew this, so they would ask me to help them cheat during our tests. Little did they know, I purposefully gave them the wrong letters so that I would still be the only one who got 100%. Sorry, guys. but I still hold on to that certificate. Or in 4th grade at recess, when Faith threw what she told me was a grasshopper at my face, which ended up in me ducking and breaking half my tooth off on a metal pole. Come to find out, that grasshopper was actually just a wood chip, and now I have a fake tooth to remind me of it. Faith felt so bad that she somehow found half of my tooth and gave it to me in an empty milk container. Probably threw it away, but thank you for the effort. Mr. Scott, even though I, along with most of my classmates, tend to sleep during your class, when I do pay attention, I usually enjoy what we're learning. I'll never forget the moments when you threatened to shove a shoe up someone's butt, which was usually Sadie, Grace, or Joe. I also want to thank Mr. B for allowing me to spend a lot of time after school in your room retaking quizzes. So much so that you had to make entirely new quizzes because I took all the ones you already had made. Now I know you're a little upset that I took the easy way out and did not take calculus, and I'll admit I do miss getting a minute from your goal every day. To our coaches and administrators, thank you for showing us that being successful is not always measured by the win, the score, or how many medals you have. You constantly gave your time and energy to help us grow, whether it was early morning practices, long bus rides, or late nights after a game. You never gave up regardless of the outcomes. Let's be honest, some of those bus rides probably took a couple years off your life. Between trying to keep Mr. Scott awake and on the road, the terrible singing, and the questionable gas station food choices, you somehow managed to survive it all. Speaking of people staying on the road, Jamie, although most people would say she's a bad driver, especially the pheasants and the curbs, she did save my life just the other day. On her way to Howardwood, this little red car decided that it needed to be exactly where we were in our lane. And so we all saw our lives flash before our eyes, but thanks to Jamie, we avoided the accident. For some reason, I have another memory in a car, but there was one time when Emma and I hid in the back of the red van for 2 hours after a basketball game, waiting for Coach Hine to bring the van back to the bus shed. When she finally returned, keep in mind it was winter, so it was cold and dark. As we were driving down the highway, we kept poking our heads up, and once Tricia noticed, she screamed, slammed on the brakes, and pulled over. I'll never forget the fear in her eyes when she opened those back doors, and I genuinely thought she was either going to attack us or make us run a lot of laps. Whether it was as the Potter County Battlers or the Battler Bunnies, we always came together as a team. My favorite memories are from sports and being fit. To our community, growing up in a small town has been a one-of-a-kind experience that I took for granted. Now we're all going our separate ways, and it's become realization on how special this town really is. People show up for each other not because it's an expectation, but because they genuinely care. Whether people are celebrating a life event or going through a hard time, this town has never failed to come together in the best ways possible. I want to thank everyone for lifting us up, cheering us on, and supporting us through academic and sporting events throughout the years. To our parents and families, thank you for being our biggest cheerleaders in life since day one. You constantly supported us through success and failures and celebrated our achievements even more than we did. You listened to us complain about having to go to school more times than you would have liked, and in return, we turned down most of our attempts to stay homesick. We didn't say thank you enough, and often the work you do goes unrecognized, but we appreciate you more than you know. To my dad, I know we butt heads a lot, but I wouldn't have a life I have without you. You're the person I can always count on to be at every event and game, and you always have the best advice. I still remember the days when I would sit in the combine with you and listen to Nickelback. To my mom, thank you for your unconditional love and support. You do everything for me without being asked. I know I can go to you no matter what time of the day I'm having, and you always know exactly what to say to make me feel better. Part of me wishes I could go back to being the little girl that made you scratch your back every night before bed. I truly would not be the person I am today without you both, and I love you more than you know. Lastly, to the class of 2026, we finally did it. After all the tests and assignments and procrastination, which is something we're great at, we're finally here today. It feels like just yesterday that we were freshmen, and now we're preparing to start the next chapter of our lives. No matter where each of us goes from here, I hope we remember the people that surrounded us up until this point. The future may be uncertain, but one thing is clear. The class of 2026 is capable of incredible things. Thank you.
I would now like to invite to the stage
thank you all for being here with us to celebrate the class of 2026. We can't believe that we are standing up here today because for years this moment has felt so far away, but here we are.
Since we have done everything together, we thought it would be only right to share a few memories about our classmates over the years.
Sean, you may have joined our class a little late, but you never missed a beat. You always had a way of making us laugh. We sincerely hope you find your ABG someday, and if that day does come, please send us a wedding invite.
Sean, I'm sorry you had to learn the hard way that yes, your butt does in fact hurt after the 4-bite.
Jaden, one part of this year I was not expecting to enjoy so much was doing football stats with you. I don't really know how accurate our stats were, but there were a lot of laughs in between trying to figure them out. From second-guessing ourselves every play and having to ask the football boys every time, to about getting ran over on the sidelines because we were terrible at paying attention, or running over to Eric or Roush every time out to eat a cookie, it somehow always turned into a good time, especially during the bus ride home from Hardin County at 3:30 a.m.
Just so everyone knows, on my 13th birthday, Karen posted, "Happy birthday, Emma. You're funny and better at basketball than me." Now that everyone knows that, I'll begin. Jared came here in 7th grade, and at first I hated him because he was so competitive and somehow good at everything he did. Luckily, I got over that when I beat him in a 1v1, despite what he may say.
Claire, we truly don't know how you put up with all of us. You're wise beyond your years.
Thank you, Claire, for building such a friendship that I'll never forget. You have so much grace. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're the strongest person I know. Keep being the most beautiful soul.
Bobby, we can't believe you're here. We are pretty certain you spent more time outside of the school than you did in it. Your sarcasm never fails to make us laugh, and your facial expressions always say exactly how you're feeling.
Bobby, I have never met someone so accident-prone in my life. Stay safe at college and maybe invest in some bubble wrap. Trace, or more commonly known as Anaconda. Thank you for always being willing to help with anything and being an example to other guys about how to treat girls. You always held the door and were extremely respectful, so everyone else take lessons.
Faith has always been one of the most creative people in our class. Third hour study hall was always interesting with her, Bowie, and Claire. We definitely did not get nearly as much homework done as we probably should have, but it was always a good time. She also always takes the best and funniest notes wherever she goes. If you don't know this already, from about 2nd to 6th grade, Sage would surprise me with gifts on just about every holiday. He would give me blankets, stuffed animals, and chocolate. I don't know what he was trying to say with all of that, but I did appreciate the gifts, so thanks, Sage.
Sage, when I think of you, I remember all the times you made me tougher. I mean, out of anyone, you've made me cry the most. Calling me Pepto-Bismol because of my pink outfit, to making fun of my pigtails in elementary school, you've never failed to put me in my place. Joke's on you now, though. I have the mic, so you should be afraid.
Cameron, most of our class has probably never heard you say more than 3 words, but we got to see a different side of you, sort of.
I'll never forget the time in our calc class when when we asked Mr. B why he hadn't assigned us IXL. And upon hearing this, Mr. B responded, "Well, do you want IXL?" Cameron instantly let out the loudest and fastest no I have ever heard in my life. I wasn't aware he was so passionate about not doing IXL, so we really dodged a bullet with that one. Cameron also loved to shake his head and laugh whenever we would go on rants, which was quite frequent. When Carter first came here, all he did was walk. He was always walking. He walked everywhere.
He would also always wear tank tops in the middle of winter and wear bright blue dudes. I hope by the end of today, you and Mrs. Langer can get over all your problems.
Andy, I hope you still remember all the wrestling tournaments we had to sit through for our brothers. Or all the times we took turns climbing into that big plastic box in my toy room and pushing it down the stairs. I can't believe we got away with that one, although I'm not sure my parents know up until now.
Roland, it was great to see you come out of your shell this year and see the true RKM. Somehow, you can turn the most concerning jokes I've ever heard into the funniest thing said all day. What is said during 8th hour, Mrs. Langers stays in Mrs. Langers. Emma, my best friend in the pink to my blue. Literally, she's wearing pink dress and I'm wearing blue dress. You You are the person who celebrates every high with me like it's your own, and you're there for me during every low. You tell me the truth, even when I don't want to hear it. Thank you for all the funny jokes, driving away from me when I'm trying to get in your car, and always helping me make decisions on what to wear. I'm so grateful for you. And your mother for making me lunch every single day. It was always delicious.
Beth, I wanted to formally thank you for running the 4x4 this year. I know you hated it. In fact, I think I wanted it more for you than you wanted it for yourself. But hey, I knew you had it in you.
One thing we will always remember about Megan is her laugh. It's quite contagious, and you know something is pretty funny when she starts. She also managed to sleep through almost every government class, and she also fully owns being short, turning it into a joke quite often.
Jalen, sharing a bed on senior trip was an experience of a lifetime, because by the time I laid down to sleep, you let me know that the bed would be yours, and you were not going to roll over. In fact, you were going to sleep in the middle. And don't get me started on the snoring. Just kidding, Jalen. I'm glad we got to share a bed, along with all the fun memories over the years.
Oh, Joe, high school would have been a lot quieter and probably a lot less entertaining without you. From kicking a ball through the classroom window to dressing up as Dolly Parton, you've never failed to keep us on our toes. And during senior year, we learned that apparently you don't believe in using doors.
Peyton, my best friend, my partner in crime, my help in every situation. I don't and will never have the words for how much of an impact you've made on me. From goofing off in Mr. B's to making TikToks at lunch, I wouldn't trade these past 2 years for anything. I thank God for you, and I especially thank God that I can run to you after calc tests, and when I tell you I probably failed, you luckily responded with, I probably failed too. Thank you for everything, best friend. I love you.
And lastly, Jace. Something we all learned about Jace is that he is always listening to our conversations, just not accurately. We will never forget your bullet phase or your famous phrase, "they're being lying." I'll never forget how in kindergarten we were getting our flu shots, and as I was waiting to get mine, you were running around the lunchroom trying to flee the nurses. They eventually caught you and held you down. Just so you know, that made me very scared to get my flu shot. Thank you for keeping us entertained and laughing.
And that is our class, the people who we have made memories with for the past 13 years. Sharing these stories felt right, because this class has shaped both of us in ways we will never forget. But now, each of us has prepared a little something else.
So with that, Emma will continue with her speech, and then I'll follow. Class of 2026, thank you for all the memories, the laughs, and the tears. We will carry them all wherever we go.
I guess I don't have to say good afternoon again, but I want to thank everyone for being here today. Whether you are a parent, teacher, or family member, I can say, on behalf of the class of 2026, everybody in this room has impacted us for the past 13 years. So thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Brayden and Nicholas's sister. Over the past 4 years, everybody has told me how good both of my brother's salutatorian speeches were. And although I may not top theirs, I did top their class ranking because I will be giving the valedictorian speech today. So take that, Nick and Brayden. My biggest fear in high school was not freshman initiation, going to the principal's office, or even Mr. B's quizzes. My biggest fear in high school was failing. Keyword was. For so long, I thought failure was the worst thing that could happen to me. I thought that if I failed, people would judge me. I thought failure meant I wasn't good enough. But somewhere between the practices, long bus rides, hard losses, and moments I wanted to quit, I learned something completely different. Failure is not what ruins you. Fear of failure does. If I can leave you with anything tonight, it is this. Fail. Fail over and over and over again. Because if you never fail, you will never grow into the person you are supposed to be. When people think about success in high school, they usually think about trophies, medals, awards, or accomplishments. I used to think that too. I thought that if I broke enough records, won enough games, or achieved enough goals, then maybe I would finally feel successful. But looking back now, I realize that there is not a single medal hanging on my wall that defines who I am. jar I broke, and every goal of mine I accomplished, there was always another one waiting. I was never fully satisfied. What I finally realized is that success was never supposed to be measured by accomplishments. The real achievement was learning how to keep showing up, even when things did not go the way I hoped. My biggest accomplishment is not something I can hang on a wall. High school gave me memories, friendships, and experiences that matter far more than anything I can put on a resume. Going into my junior year of basketball, I didn't know if we would even have enough girls to make a team. We had 6 girls. We knew we were not going to dominate every game. We knew it would be exhausting, but every single one of us showed up anyways. We had every reason to quit, but we chose to keep showing up for each other and for something we loved. Those seasons taught me that success is not always winning. Sometimes success is showing up even when things are difficult. Sometimes success is giving everything you have even when all the odds are stacked against you. And sometimes success is simply refusing to quit. To my dad, thank you for teaching me those lessons long before I understood them. Thank you for teaching me how to build character in hard situations and how to laugh even when life gets difficult. You taught me that strength is not always about succeeding, it's about getting back up when you fail. I love you so much. To my mom, thank you for making sure Peyton and I had lunch at exactly 11:45 with barbecue chips on the side because you knew they were our favorite. Thank you for teaching me that being strong and being kind can exist together. You showed me that having a heart will take you farther in life than anything else. And Mom, I'm sorry I majored in nursing even though you told me not to for the past 12 years. This past year has taught me one of the hardest lessons of my life. Due to some unforeseen circumstances during my senior year, my athletic teams faced a major change. To some people, it may have been a small change. But to me, it felt like I was losing a part of my world. The teammates I grew up with for 11 years would no longer be beside me. Suddenly, my volleyball team lost its center libero. My basketball team was cut in half. And my championship relay suddenly out of the series. And if I'm being honest, it hurt. The senior year was supposed to be different. It was supposed to be a year of winning. A year everything finally came together. The best year. Instead, suddenly things became harder. When it became harder, success became harder. And I had to face something I never wanted to admit to myself. You cannot win everything. The realization was painful for me because for so long, I had built my identity around succeeding, around being an athlete, around pushing myself to always achieve more. But life does not always go the way you planned. Sometimes things change without your permission. Sometimes the ending is not what you imagined. Now, I went to all the meetings, I heard all the conversations, but I stayed quiet. I stayed quiet because I was afraid. I was afraid of speaking up and failing in front of my community. I was afraid of being wrong. So instead of taking the chance to stand up for what I believed in, I said nothing. And that regret taught me something I will carry for the rest of my life. I used to think failure was trying and not succeeding, but now I know the real failure is letting fear stop you from trying in the first place. And yes, I could have failed, and maybe it wouldn't have made a difference after all, but at least I could sleep well at night knowing I tried. To my best friend, Daniel, I'm sorry I didn't fight harder for you. I love you. As I stand here tonight, I realize that high school was never about wins, losses, grades, or awards. It was about becoming who you are. It was about learning how to handle disappointment, pressure, change, heartbreak, and failure. Because these are the moments that shape us. So to my classmates, take the risk. Speak up, chase the dream that scares you. And if you fail, fail proudly. Because failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is what leads you to it. One day, you will realize the moments that changed your life were not the times everything went perfectly. They were the times you fell, got back up, and kept going anyway. Fear kept me silent once, and I hope it never does again.
good afternoon part because I'm the fourth person up here tonight and we're all probably hungry, or at least I am. So I'll try to make this quick. Before we officially walk across the stage and go our separate ways, I think it's worth taking a moment to look back on everything these past 4 years have taught us. High school teaches you a lot of lessons. Some important, some ridiculous, and some you unfortunately learn through experiences, and usually the hard way. Our class learned earlier this year that mustard does not belong on city sidewalks. I learned that if you spend an entire class period tearing up 4 sheets of tissue paper into tiny pieces and then dump them on Mrs. Lager's head, you'll be finding red tissue paper around the hallways for weeks. Being in Mr. B's math classes has taught me a lot too. Mainly that I can get significantly less homework done if I make Mr. B laugh, and I will never ever understand implicit differentiation. I've learned that if I walk up to Mrs. Jensen and act super sweet, she'll hand me Fruit Loops, and that Mr. Jensen will never stop growling at me. I learned that Emma is sort of a hazard on the roads, and that Julian Schlachter makes the best pickled chicken salad sandwiches I've ever had. I learned that Joe is a really good Dolly Parton impressioner, and that Jace and Jared will never agree on who's the better golfer. I learned that our class should also never be allowed to play pickleball during health and wellness. I learned sophomore year that Mr. Tuttle does not appreciate you playing Kiss, Marry, Kill every class period. I learned that Excel should be avoided at all costs, and that we all should have stayed away from those green hot dogs in third grade. And that if you hand Mrs. Wucky a mechanical pencil, she will absolutely sharpen it. I learned that 15 miles till empty does not mean you can make it home, and that your Uncle Casey will have to get you gas at the farm. I learned to sit in the back of Mr. Scott's room so he wouldn't see me sleeping, and to never trust Mr. Jensen driving a 15-passenger van unless you want to watch him almost back into people on the crosswalk. But in between all the chaos, I learned valuable things too. I learned the value of showing up, even on the days I was overwhelmed or tired. I learned that hard work matters, even when nobody notices it. And most importantly, I learned that the people around you shape your experiences more than anything else ever will. When I think about the people that have shaped me the most, my family is at the very top of that list. I have been surrounded by the most supportive, encouraging, funny, and sometimes slightly inappropriate family. Thank you for being the ones who show up for absolutely everything. My loudest supporters, the ones cheering me on before I know I've done something worth cheering for, and the people who have always treated me like one of your own. Some of my best memories in life are with all of you, and those moments are a huge part of who I am. Leaving here means leaving all of you, and that is one of the hardest goodbyes I'll ever have to make. But everything you've taught me, the lessons, the love, the support, I'm taking all of it with me. To my Grandma Trudy, thank you for making the best buns and my special chocolate pie. Grandpa Terry, thank you for giving the best hugs and teaching me that a good therapeutic hug has to be at least 30 seconds. Grandpa Monty, thank you for laughing at all my jokes, even when they're not that funny, being my lifting partner, and sending the best emojis. Grandma Nancy, thank you for always listening for every girl's day and for being the person who will help me with absolutely anything I need. Jason, thank you for every rant you've listened to and for being the sister who keeps me humble and laughing. We may not always agree, but at the end of the day, you're still the person that knows me better than anyone else. Sid, thank you for your kindness, laughter, and the way you always manage to brighten even my hardest days. You are truly the sweetest girl I know, and I'm so grateful for the joy you bring into my life. And to my parents, thank you for teaching me the importance of hard work, and for showing me every single day what it looks like to love your kids with your whole heart. You two have given me every possible opportunity to succeed. Dad, thank you for the daily hugs after work, the kitchen dance parties, the jokes, taking me hunting, and the way you always know how to make things feel lighter. And Mom, thank you for being my best friend. Even when we butt heads, you never stop being in my corner. You're the person I go to for everything. And to my classmates, thank you. Growing up with this group has been one of the wildest, funniest, and most meaningful times of my life. We've been together through every awkward phase, every crush, every bad haircut, the wins, the losses, and the stories that still make us laugh. Thank you for turning even the most ordinary days into something special. Looking back on all the memories, the mustard messes, the experiences, it all leads to the biggest lesson I've taken away from these years. We spend so much of our life waiting for the next big thing. For years we said, I can't wait to grow up. This year, well, it was, I can't wait for graduation. But standing here now, part of me wishes I could wait a little longer. I wish I could sit in the student section one more time, mess around in Mrs. Langer's, make jokes with Mr. B, ride the bus, and step onto the court for one last time. Because those moments that we couldn't wait to get through become the moments that we'll miss the most. We spent so much time waiting for tomorrow, we almost missed today. So as we leave here tonight, I hope we start rushing toward what's next and start noticing what's right in front of us. As we step into this next chapter, I hope we carry these memories, lessons, and this community with us. No matter where we go or who we become, we always share this place, these years, and each other. Thank you, GHS, for giving us a home and helping us succeed. Thank you to this community for supporting us. Thank you to the class of 2026 for being the people I got to grow up with. And thank you to my family for believing in me in every step of the way. I hope I made you proud. I could not be more grateful to have grown up here, and I'll always be proud to be a Battler. As we go on our own ways and start new chapters, may we never forget where we came from. Thank you.
Great job, girls. We would now like to invite the class of 2026 to come get your flowers and honor your special guests.
To my love, took it down. Climbed the mountain, turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills, till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is the world? Can a child in my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I'm afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time is older, children get older, I'm getting older too. And if you see my reflection, it's no other tears, but that's how down. And if you see my reflection, it's no covered tears, with a landslide bringing down. Oh, the landslide bringing down.
Only time I got to pray for in life is when I saw your destination as a deadline. It's just normal conversation, and it's all fine. Making quiet calculations till the fall lies. It's as good a land, or at least it was. It takes a strong hand and a sound mind. College kids are getting so young, they correcting all the grammar on a spray paint. And I even gave up driving after nightfall. I got tired of the frat boys with the brights on. This is good land, or at least it was. It's a strong hand and a sound mind. It makes me smile to know when things get hard. Ooh, you'll be far. Ooh, you'll be far from here. That white clean should have been in the yard. Ooh, you'll be far. Ooh, you'll be far, far from here. So pack up your car, put a hand in your heart, say whatever you feel, wherever you are. We ain't yet to love. You're the greatest thing we've lost. The birds still sing, folks still fight the boards, still creep the leaves, still die. We ain't yet to love. We'll be waiting for your love, and we'll all be here forever. And we'll all be here forever.
What's the product?
Spend so long, stay back. That's the thing about tonight. Cadillacs didn't catch the tide. Told me you made different. Well, I got drunk and shut you down.
I might have to wait because we're late. Yeah.
Step outside this town. For always. Knock up your car, put it in your heart, say whatever you feel, be whoever you are. We ain't yet to love. You're the greatest thing we lost. Birds still sing, folks still fight the doors, still creep the leaves, still die. We ain't yet to love. We'll be waiting for your love. We'll all be here forever. And we'll all be here forever.
Okay, we now invite everyone to look up at the screen above, and I want to thank Kate Stevens. She has done an excellent job as the senior class president this year. That comes with a lot of responsibility. She planned the entire senior trip. She keeps these guys organized. She had to make sure they took the right number of flowers so nobody ran out of flowers. We turn out okay, guys? Not bad? Okay. As well as creating the slideshow, making sure everybody had pictures turned into us and those kinds of things. So thank you, Kate.
yourself a toothbrush, dear. Pack yourself a favorite block. Take a withdrawal slip. Take all of your savings out. 'Cause if we don't leave this town, we might never make it out. I was not born to drown. Baby, come on. Forget what Father Benny said. We were not born to sin. Leave it up on your bed. Let your mother know it's safe. And by the time she wakes, it'll dribble through the state. It'll dribble through the night. Baby, come on. If the sun don't shine on me today, and if the subway's bloody bridges break, where you lay your son down and dig your grave, or will you ride against the dying day? And when we look outside, we don't even see the sky. How do you make a way? Is it your madness, or is it all your feet? Holding the atmosphere. I don't wanna live like every day. If the sun don't shine on me today, if the subway's flood and the bridges break, Jesus Christ can't save me tonight. Without your grace, yes, worth something nice. Sound me, yes, I Pack yourself a toothbrush, dear. Pack yourself a favorite block. Take a withdrawal slip. Take all of your savings out. 'Cause if we don't leave this town, we might never make it out.
Look at this photograph. Every time it makes me laugh. Eyes get so red.
Been scared of the future, thinking about the past while missing out on that.
gone. You don't know what you got till you go, till it's gone. Only somebody would have told me that someday this would be the good old days. All the love you forget, and all these reckless nights you regret. Someday soon all that's gonna change. Gonna miss the magic of these good old days.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and know that's why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the fall
Would the class of 2026 please stand? Come up here. Mr. Chad Roush, our school board president, will now present them with their diplomas. These seniors have met the requirements of the South Dakota State Board of Education and Gettysburg School District. Sean Ortiz Avalos. Jaden Ann Allmeyer. Jaron Jeremiah Chase. Claire Catherine Cordell. Bobby Ann Ivey. Trace John Gensler. Faith Emma Gable. Sage Matthew Herman. Cameron Christopher Hunnell. Carter James John. Angelina Julie Long. Rowan Heath Moss. Emma K. Schlachter. Beth Mary Sire. Megan Elaine Sire. Jalen Violet Stanley. Joseph James Stanley. It would also be a good idea to check that diploma. Jace Jean Wager.
Never a dull moment with okay, let me tell you what. The Gettysburg School District has always had a common purpose in mind to encourage and develop lifelong learning from young ladies and gentlemen who stand before me this afternoon. These graduating seniors are the results of the time and effort of you, their parents, family members, community members, and educators. Graduates, I wish you everything that you so richly deserve in the years ahead. A couple of quick announcements. The receiving line will be located in the Commons area. For those of you that are unable to attend each graduate celebration, please use the designated areas at the back to leave gifts and cards. We would like to extend a thank you to the Battler Booster Club for live streaming this event so those who could not attend can share in this celebration. Will the class of 2026 please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2026. Please stand down for reception.
Thank you.